Greetings, gentle viewers. I am George from Ireland, and this is a video about the Flextension. So Brexit has been postponed again. This is the second time. This postponement I oppose. So the 12th of April was the due date for an independent United Kingdom, but the independent UK was not reborn. As it was coming up to the deadline, Theresa May requested an extension again. Now, I thought it was probable that the EU would grant this, but it required all 27 leaders of all the member states to consent to this, and so it'd only take one of them to refuse, and it wouldn't happen. But in fact, they all did with some reluctance. So the Prime Minister had requested a 1-year flexible extension. So 12 months in which to sort out an agreement with the European Union. If the UK didn't sort that out in 12 months, the United Kingdom was going to leave anyway. But what was flexible about it is, supposing the UK and the European Union managed to agree it, as in had to get Parliament to ratify it, can't be just Theresa May's signature, then the UK will be able to leave sooner than 12 months, but there will be less time pressure. What she got was 6 months, a 6 months flexible extension, so going on till October 2019. Now, the European elections are in May. So the United Kingdom is legally obliged to hold those elections, and Theresa May said, if we're still in the EU, about 22nd of May, when those elections are due, well, we'll do it, because we have to, and it's likely that the United Kingdom will still be an EU member state by then. And it'd be very funny if they were elected and had to serve just a few days, and the United Kingdom then managed to leave. Incidentally, the European elections are staggered. They're not all exactly the same time in each member state. So on Taoiseach, that's the Prime Minister of the Republic of Ireland, Dr. Varadkar said not to waste time. Of course, the Republic of Ireland, as we border the United Kingdom, Brexit is going to affect us one way or the other more than any other member state, because so much of our trade is to the United Kingdom, from the United Kingdom, or indeed via the United Kingdom. Things just transshipped across the UK. So Theresa May's request has left the EU exasperated. There would have been much eye-rolling, though you notice how they're more emollient in their tone. It was rather belligerent before. There's not this brinksmanship that there was a few months ago. And it's good news for the European Union, because whilst the United Kingdom is a member state, it is still paying its dues. There's yet more time for the EU to adjust, to make its own arrangements. When the United Kingdom's gone, the second biggest net contributor is not there. There's got to be a lot of belt tightening. We're going to demand more contributions from the member states. Are we going to cut spending? Are we going to borrow more? A combination of two, or possibly all three of those things. So there's no rush for the European Union, for the UK to be out, or indeed for Remainers in the UK. They don't want to go anywhere. They want to keep things the way they are now. And it gives them yet another opportunity for an 11th hour referendum to try and overturn the result of the 2016 referendum, hoping there'll be a deathbed conversion to remaining. And as I pointed out, the opinion polls indicate that Remain would narrowly win. And it's beyond the margin of error, not by much. So if it were held, there's a racing certainty that Remain would win. I'm a very fair-minded person, so I point these things out, even though that's not what I want. Moreover, there's enough time for the United Kingdom to hold a general election. And if there was a new government sitting at Westminster, it would almost certainly be a Remain government, because Labour is mostly Remain. I know in their manifesto last time they said Labour accepts the outcome of the referendum, all right? But they seem to have changed their tune on that. A manifesto is for one election only. They could say, well, times have changed. In view of information which subsequently come to light, we have amended our policy. The Liberal Democrats are very Remain, and they've always said they would have a second referendum. All right, I don't agree with them, fair enough, they've been consistent about it. So it might well be a Labour government, Labour 5% ahead in the opinion polls, so they could win an outright majority. You know, that they were 2.5% behind the Conservatives next time. Previously I was saying it would be difficult for Labour to win an actual majority. I don't think they'd struggle now, actually. It might not be a huge majority, but I think they would win one. Look at 2005, when they got, I can't remember, was it 2% more than the Conservatives in share of the vote, but a lot more in share of the seats, something like 20% more. So emotions are cooling, and people have time for sober reflection. And increasingly, there's this hard-headed recognition on the side of the European Union that they don't want to push the UK into a corner, and indeed some of the hardcore leavers in the United Kingdom have softened, like the Honourable Jacob Rees-Mogg. So coming around the idea we might have to have a Norway-style agreement or something like that, and have to accept some of the aspects of the EU that the UK doesn't like. Not being a member state, but having to accept some of the regulations to be in the common market, things like that. Also, to reduce the chance of the United Kingdom splitting up. So there would be benefits to a decent relationship. Another thing is this would extend May's premiership beyond 2 years, 11 months, so she'd be served longer than Gordon Brown, who was a fag-end prime minister. Remember, Theresa May took over in July 2016, so if she gets to July this year, it will have been 3 years. I don't think she's driven by personal ambition, but people are jaded with this whole issue. The EU likes to sometimes bore its interlocutors into submission, go down to the wire negotiations. I find this whole thing wearisome. You're probably bored rigid of hearing about it, so there we are. But anyway, there's yet more chance that the UK won't leave at all, because there's more time. Once the United Kingdom's actually left, getting back in is more of a big deal, because again, it only takes one member state to veto you and you cannot join. And the EU was fed up to the back teeth of the United Kingdom, saying you put us through this whole rigmarole. We had so much palaver about are you leaving, are you not? And they obviously are sick of it. So they might say, you're not allowed back in. But as I say, if the United Kingdom chooses to stay after all, or indeed leaves and asks to come back, one of the conditions I would swear would be no more right of secession. All right, I bet my bottom dollar the EU will do this for existing member states after Brexit, if it happens, to say you're not allowed to leave. We're not having that anymore.